Welcome back to the fifth and the final day of Innovator Showcase at Smart Protein Summit 2020. So exciting, right? I mean, over the past 4 days, we have seen such innovative ideas and pitches and startup updates that I'm so excited about the sector in general. I'm so happy that this ecosystem has been growing very fast compared to 2019. And I can only imagine what's going to happen for this ecosystem in 2021. I hope you all join us on this journey in building a smart future of protein for India. Today's showcase number 5 is the final showcase, and we have with us Dr. Kunal Samantare, co-founder Femtofarad, who will talk about their Born Meat range of plant-based meat analogs. So, Dr. Kunal, the stage is all yours for the next 10 minutes. Best of luck for your pitch.
Hello everyone, this is Kunal, CEO at Femtofarad, which wants to bridge sustainability with taste. Now everybody loves meat worldwide. India actually ranks low on meat consumption per person per year at around 4 per kg, but then we export with average consumption around 60 kg per year in major economies. Sustainability of meat industries is under scrutiny, and it should be. Right from climate change to human health to ethics, farm meat is certainly unsustainable. The UN says that we should look at plant-based foods, and yes, there is some acceptability these days, but then it does not taste the same. Now, Femtoforad has assembled a team to change that. We have prototyping product design experts, biotechnologists, an architect, and industry expert with 30-year experience. We have also added advisors from Government Food Testing Laboratory to help with regulatory clearance and bioinformatician who simulate products and processes before we actually invest in them. This decreases overall R&D and production costs. Femtoforad has the dedication and the drive to expand Born Meat line of plant-based meat products to compete with traditional meat industry and also other players in this field. We have started this great purpose by isolating edible microalgae, which is non-GMO but produces heme. We have standardized a process in lab using flasks and sterile plastic bags to purify heme, which is essential for meat-like taste. But then we did not have sufficient quantities of microalgae. So our in-house architect, Ms. Pernica, designed modular raceways which can be easily scaled up. Mr. Patnaik started construction at a non-arable site we leased out in coastal Puri district in Odisha. We made a 40-liter testing tank and raceways which are automated with for aeration and sensors, as our CTO Mr. Ansuman would explain.
Thank you, Kunal. So I have designed Illuminous system and integrated circuit where my experiment proved successful in 20-liter raceway pond. It can be scaled up to different size of raceway ponds. I have stimulated and studied the growth of algae in different spectrum and wavelength of light. Blue spectrum have proven most effective. In-house sensors and integrated circuit designed by me have proven effective to produce a stable radiant source while reducing the temperature dependency on sensors. I have also added computer vision module to analyze the change in algal biomass where I have found that there has been an increase in 1 gram per square meter per day. Results are taken in the digital oscilloscope and MATLAB. The graphs are highlighted here.
So now we could isolate sufficient heme. Heme concentrate and liquid heme that is added to blends is shown here. We devised the mechanism for plant-based meat analog fabrication. We take native protein, already we have tested pea, chickpea and moong, add some other ingredients and heme and make a blend. So this is the starting material basically. The blend undergoes drying, grinding, extrusion under carefully optimized processes to produce our protein and fiber concentrate. Now this protein and fiber concentrates is what we use in our patties and meatloafs. So food scientists in the team did microbiology and organoleptic testing. We can replicate with Born Meat, meat-like textures, colors and taste, but sustainably and at very competitive prices. We have a process patent filed in this regard. Organoleptic testing that I have shown here includes moisture, dry matter, protein, fat, carbohydrate content, cooking characteristics, and also some proprietary tests using capillary electrophoretic separation, which are all compared with traditional meat products. We do color measurement using a chromometer. Femtofarad has patented a proprietary blend of preservatives and reductants that keep heme color intact under refrigeration for several months. The heme photographed here is at 14 days. You can clearly see there is no oxidation and the color remains intact. Can you see here? Now the texture analysis is done by Taxt Plus Texture Analyzer before and after cooking. The sensory analysis involves a panel of 12 food experts between 28 and 45 years of age. The assessors evaluated smell, taste, juiciness, brittleness, overall acceptability of the product compared to traditional meat product and evaluated it on a 5-point hedonic scale. We did extensive customer surveys before we went to our business uh, market adoption, and we devised strategies around it. We still are awaiting restaurantable inputs, but we have stakeholder inputs, and we know that one particular thing we have focused on has started working. This is training of locals who are currently involved in subsistence fisheries into microalgae culture. Over time, it will assure a supply chain sustainability for heme, which is our most valuable ingredient. So this is Femtofarad advisors and team members interacting with locals in Puri district. What we think is that since our heme, which is the costliest ingredients, but accounts for only 2% of the total product weight. So this opens up a business plan possibility where heme is sourced from our facilities established in Puri, and Femtofarad can locally source and assemble products for manufacturing plant-based patties and meatloaves. So we have designated regional hubs all over India where we can transport the heme and locally sourced products to manufacture the processed food products. So this decreases the total inventory and transport costs and allows a quicker scale up. We have wonderful mentors at CIECO who have really refined this process. These are some of the awards that we have won for various technology associated with born meat and associated microalgae culture. Now we are in a place where the product has been manufactured, the process patents have been applied. We are now on the part to scale some more. Now GFI India has helped us in our journey. It has put us on the right track and pointed to us the tech and text that really helps in growth. We are thankful for the opportunity to present here and to move at a faster pace. I leave you with our current set of products, meatloaf that we call Mansa and born meat patties. So this is what we already have. So I want to thank you for your patience, and we are now open to questions.
You just heard from Kunal on Team Femtofarad's innovation in improving the microalgal growth at scale, fabricating your own machines for processing plant-based meat products, and their focus on backward integration to help grow the grassroots was worth noting as well, and something we all recommend the smart protein startups in India to really think about. Now, please welcome our panel of investors who will be posing some tough questions to our innovator. First off, we have Shreyansh Singhal, Investment Associate at Anchor Capital. Next off, we have Shruti Srivastav, Principal at Omnivore. Next, as always, we have Jinesh Shah, founder of Y Combinator-backed startup Milk Guys and consultant to smart protein companies like Just and Good Dot. And finally, we have Chintan Antani, AVP Seed Investments and Portfolio at CIECO, located at IIM Ahmedabad. Welcome, everyone. As you know, all of these judges have been actively involved with GFI India in tracking the emerging smart protein ecosystem and have been judging all the startups over the past 4 days with their questions. Today as well, they'll get one question each to pose to the startup Femtofarad. And for the Q&A session, we have Kunal and his co-founder Anshuman joining us. Now I'd like to welcome Kunal and his co-founder Anshuman for the Q&A session. Let's get started with Shreyansh for the first question. Shreyansh, would you like to pose a question to Femtofarad?
Sure. Thanks a lot, Shardul. Hi, Kunal. Hi, Anshuman. Guys, how do I understand more from your supply side as such, right? I mean, from what I understand that you are actually building a process to develop microalgae, if I understood that right. So how do I understand this in terms of where you are? What's the core IP in terms of production and of the microalgae? Is there sort of some specific needs that you have in terms of a kind of an algae that you're looking at that you would like to procure? And that's the reason you're going backwards in terms of ensuring that your supply chain is streamlined?
No, we have already isolated the algae and we have sequenced it and we are using it. So it is IP that we own, and it is also the microalgae also we have. So that is only one part of it. The microalgae we are using just to extract the heme. So the supply chain is needed to procure the protein. So mostly 98% of the material is plant-based proteins and also vegetables, those kinds of things. The algae is only the flavorant. So we are manufacturing the flavorant and we are sourcing all the other ingredients to make the whole product. So the IP that we have currently is on the whole process of it. We are also filing an IP for the extraction of heme from algae, from non-GMO algae.
Got it.
Oh, very exciting. We all know about another company who's focused on heme extraction and making their moat. So I wish Femtofarad a lot of success in this specific initiative of theirs. For next question, we have Shruti. Shruti, would you like to ask a question to Femtofarad?
Hi, folks. So my question to you is, who is going to be your target customer? Are you looking at selling this to restaurants that would use it in products? Are you looking at going directly to the consumer? And what kind of pricing are you looking at for the end products compared to the real deal?
Okay, so there are two types of customer we're looking at. The first is obviously restaurants that we can position the product initially and also get a feedback from them how the customers are taking up to it. The second is direct to customers. There is another market that we are looking at is the retail market. But then there is an issue here in India that many people do not buy their meat from the retail market. From the cold chain, the amount of products that are bought from the cold chain is minuscule compared to the people who will go to the butcher and get the meat. So we have to create a market, we have to create an acceptance before we can get to the cold chain. So therefore we want to place it initially in restaurant, and the prices are mostly similar to what is the price for conventional meat. So this is around for a 12 number product, 12 in one packet, 12 are there. So that will cost you around 300 or so. So the cost is similar to what is currently available for chicken-based patty.
Got it.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that question and answer. I think that added a lot of perspective for the attendees to kind of understand where Femtofarad is coming from. My next question is actually for Jinesh. Jinesh, would you like to ask the question to Femtofarad?
Hey, Kunal and Ansuman. Really cool what you're working on, and I like especially the backward integration with the grassroots in India. My question centered around your core IP with relation to heme. Like Shardul mentioned, Triton Algae Innovations, as we already know, base, I guess, was in San Diego, does their algae-based heme. So first of all, my question is around how do you differentiate with them in terms of your IP? I'm assuming partly it must be a US patent versus you being in India. So regionally, you guys might be non-intersectional. But the question is around, if you plan to go global with your heme as an ingredient, I'm thinking, why aren't you potentially considering just becoming sort of the go-to or one of the go-to heme suppliers or sort of these flavoring protein suppliers, given that there's already a very, competitive market landscape evolving with plant-based meats, both in India and abroad.
So basically what we want to do is that since our protein that we have is not FDA approved, while the algae as a whole is GRAS compliant. So what we want to do currently is that we should get the product working, they get the acceptability up. At the same time, we apply for a FDA approval of the protein, of the heme protein that we're manufacturing. We estimate that will take close to 2 years or so. So we do not want to wait for the time when the FDA approval comes. So before that, we want to get positioned in the market, and when the FDA approval comes, then we can sell heme as a product itself. So that is mostly the plan that we have.
Thank you, Dr. Kunal. And your final question for today in this Q&A session is from Chintan. So Chintan, go ahead.
Hi guys. Just a very quick thought, right? In the next 18 months, what kind of different SKUs are we planning? Would we require a different process from what you've done and what you've managed to do currently? Second is, from the go-to-market strategy, right? Are you looking at pure B2C, or you're also looking at exploring B2B or a blend of both? Just wanted to know your thoughts. And this is just with respect to a very short-term period, the next 18 months. So where do you see yourself?
So there are two SKUs that we see currently. The first one is obviously the patty for the burgers, because that is something that we can directly position at the market is there. The second one that we want to position is a chicken leg. So there is another patent that we are currently applying. We have also developed a vegan bone substitute. So we can make a chicken leg. So most of these meat companies go for this minced meat, but we can also make a product that is similar to a chicken leg. So that is something that would be attractive in the Indian market, we feel, because the burger market is, yes, there is a lot of interest in that, but then Indian people will like to buy something that closely resembles and looks like a chicken. So that is something we are looking to put out, and we are currently working on that, but we have not yet got the textures right. So for chicken, what we want is that when we are actually extruding, the fibers that should be aligned along a line. So like in chicken, you see the fibers are aligned. So what we have looked at is that when we are extruding it, we have to do it at certain speeds. So we have the bioinformaticians who have tried to simulate the process, but we are now looking to get it done. So that is something that we want to do before. So that there are the two SKUs, and we also, as I said before, that we want to go for both B2C and B2B. But B2B is after the B2C is established properly.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Anshuman and Kunal, for joining us for this wonderful Q&A session. And thank you, Team Femtofarad, for the wonderful pitch.
Thank you for having us. Thank you.
Yeah, it was fascinating to see that you've assembled a really strong technical team who complements each other so well and are on the way with a lot of IP to, capture a lot of market, as was evident from the Q&A session. Thank you once again.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Now we'll hear from Karthik Dixit, co-founder of Evo Foods, a homegrown plant-based egg startup, for a final startup update. We hope you've enjoyed hearing from the community of innovators, and let's get started with Karthik's video.
Hi, I'm Karthik Dixit, co-founder and CEO of Evo Foods. We are building India's leading clean protein company, which is focused on recreating the foods we all love using indigenous plants and cutting-edge food science. So today I'll be giving you more information about our thoughts and our plans at Evo Foods, the progress we have made till last year. And I'll be giving you some insights we found out during the whole journey of Evo Foods till now. So we started off in August 2019, and me and my co-founder Shraddha Bansali, who luckily joined me in this mission, we decided to conduct some consumer surveys. We took help from GFI back then as well. So during those surveys, we found out a lot of great information, a lot of great insights on the Indian alternative protein market. We found out that plant-based egg, is kind of a gray area into the Indian market, because an egg is seen neither as a vegetarian or a non-vegetarian source of food in India. And doctors also recommend eggs to a lot of people for their health, dietary and fitness needs. So it's a great protein source, it's a great micronutrient source. And with those insights in mind, we also observed some global brands which were doing amazing in the alternative protein space, in the alternative egg space in general. So they were focusing on one aspect of it, so nutrition, taste or functionality individually. But when we decided to create a product for the Indian market, we decided that we should target taste, functionality as well as nutrition, all in one go, all in one product. And with that thought in mind, we started off the product development I guess in September, and We applied to a lot of incubators, accelerator. We got great offers, but then when we debuted the product at Shraddha's restaurant, Candy and Green, at that time, GFI conducted an event at Shraddha's restaurant, and there we met Andrew Ive, MD at Big Idea Ventures. So, in a way, GFI helped us raise money from Andrew. So Varun made the introduction to Andrew, and thank you so much, Varun, for that. And we got accepted into their New York City accelerator cohort. After that, we also got an investment from Ryan Bethencourt. Ryan is well known in the alternative protein space, and it was his first investment in India. He was tracking my whole journey. He was watching my whole journey from the early start, and actually Varun introduced me to Ryan in 2018. And when we spoke about Evo Foods, he was really impressed, and he made an investment. And he also came on board as an advisor, which was another great thing. We also got on board Stephanie Downs, ex-entrepreneur and ex-founder of Good Dot, an alternative protein company in India. So we got her on board as an advisor. We also got Wedge Invest on board as an investor. We also got Dr. Sandhya Sriram on board as an investor. So funding wise, we are absolutely lucky enough to get investment from really intelligent folks and really mission driven folks. And right now we are going through Big Idea Ventures New York City Accelerator, which has been a really great experience. I recommend that, if you're starting out in the alternative protein space, do apply and do connect with the Big Idea Ventures team if you want to propel your startup to the next stage. Apart from that, we also hired 2 great food scientists using GFI India's database, and we are looking to hire more in the future. So please be in touch. Who is attending this summit, keep in mind that we are hiring aggressively over the period of next 6 to 12 months. So please be in touch. Please get in touch if you want to join us in this mission for creating a sustainable company from India, which is supplying globally. So that's our vision and mission at Evo Foods. And, I'm looking forward to having great collaborations in funding, distribution, as well as hiring from this summit. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much, everyone, for being part of the Innovators Showcase this year at Smart Protein Summit 2020. We hope you learned a lot about the sector and what it takes to be a smart protein innovator in India. All the pitches that these startups had gave us a lot of perspective on different business models, on different products that people are currently innovating in the plant-based and cultivated and fermentation-based meat, eggs, and dairy space. We wish all of these startups a best of luck, and we thank all the judges that have been on this panel for the past 5 days, posing their interesting questions to the startups. And we really thank everybody who's joined us from the attendees for this wonderful session of Innovation Showcase in the Smart Protein Summit 2020. If you have any questions, and if you are interested in collaborating with us as an entrepreneur, as a smart protein stakeholder, please get in touch with us at india@gfi.org. Thank you and have a great day.